Hello everyone, Kryptonite here and welcome back to another Let's Play episode of Foundry. Okay, so a lot of things have changed since the last episode. If you still aren't all caught up and you've missed a few of the episodes, I'll leave the link to the playlist in the description. So basically today's plan is to do a little bit of rearranging and a little bit of expansion. So in between the last episode and getting ready for this episode, my little xenoferrite ore vein kind of depleted, so we're in a little bit of a sticky situation, shall we say. So we'll just get out of camera mode, and what we'll do is show the kind of mess that I have here. Now this is just a temporary solution to my problem. So my original xenoferrite little ore vein did deplete, so I had to quickly find another xenoferrite ore vein that I could use. This one over here was the only one that I had unlocked. This one was blocked by Mining Force, but I've been researching in between episodes and I've got that one unlocked now, which has made me come to realize that we are very short on a surplus of xenoferrite. So my plan for this episode, first of all, is going to be expanding our xenoferrite production just here. Now at the moment you can see I've got 6 crushers and I have 12 smelters. Now I want to expand this. I want to do 8 crushers to 16 smelters. Now the reason being is because I'm going to now utilize this xenoferrite here. So if you have 4 miners on a xenoferrite farm, you can quite comfortably, with a tier 1 belt, you can produce enough xenoferrite to fill up 4 crushers to 8 smelters. So we're going to add a couple more crushers to make 8, and then we can have 2 of the xenoferrite feeds in. So we've got this one here, which I'll go and showcase you in a short while. And what we're going to do is dig down to this one, which did take Mining Force 1 to unlock it, and we're going to add that into the production as well. So at the moment we have the 1 2 3 4 5 6 smelters, so we'll need to transfer these 2 to be this inside lane, and then the rest of them can be the outside lane. So we are going to need 4 of the smelters, and we're going to need 2 of the crushers. So luckily we have enough for that, and while that's doing that, we'll head over and we'll showcase the other little xenoferrite ore farm that I have going on, which is quite a way back here, but with the power of editing it won't take us long to get there. So here we are. So as you can see, it is all the way down here, so it did take quite a few explosives, and obviously I've had to chuck some building blocks down here to provide it with power. And then if we head along here, I've built a nice little tunnel that goes all the way along, which I thought was a kind of cool idea. I thought I'd do something a little bit sort of different. Instead of just going straight up, I thought I'd do like a little underground mine, which I thought was a little cool idea. And then we head over here and we have our transport all the way back up. So as you can see, I've blocked it off with stone, but yeah, just a nice little conveyor belt stairway, because we haven't got freight and elevators unlocked yet. So with that showcase out of the way, let's go ahead and get these crushers and smelters down, and we'll dig down to the other xenoferrite ore vein. You may also notice that in the top right I have the 3rd lane loader on research, and that's because after we've sorted this bit out, we're going to start adding some loaders and some conveyor belt slopes and everything to the bus system and storage. I want to get them in production as well, because I think that's long overdue. So let's go ahead and get all of this lot set up and ready. So we're going to need our smelters. We're going to go just like this. We need 4 of those, and then we're going to go ahead and add our 2 crushers into the mix. That should be pretty perfect like that. Then I want to get our loaders, and we're going to make these an output, 2 on each of these. We're going to flick to an input, and we're going to have these just here like this. So that's them sorted, and we're just going to go ahead and link these up with conveyor belts so they're all ready to rock and roll, and that is sorted. And then what we do is we will expand this over here as well. Temporarily just get rid of those 2 just there. We need to add these as an output, and we need to make these into single lane loaders, and we need to expand this conveyor belt over here. And then for this one we're going to expand out over to here as well. I think that should work out about right. So we've got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then 1 2 3 4 5 6, 7, 8. So that's perfect. So now we will just add in our outputs just here for these, and that's all the smelters and the crushers set up. So now we just need to configure these to produce xenoferrite ore. That's that. So now we'll leave that as it is for now, just so we've got some sort of production. And now we just need to go ahead and find our other xenoferrite ore, which should be around here somewhere. literally just here somewhere apparently. Doesn't seem to be quite scanning. Oh, it is scanning, so it is quite far down, but it is also relatively close as well, which I do like. That's pretty good. And then what we can do is just get our explosives and we can just go on digging down, and eventually we'll find it. So it shouldn't be too far down. We should be there in no time at all. Definitely don't want to keep picking it up though. Kind of annoying. And here we are, we have found it. So let's clear this area out a little bit more, and looks like we're going to have to build a nice conveyor belt stairway again so we can go directly out and into our crushers. So there we go, we've got the area cleared out, we've got our foundation blocks down, a nice big chunk of xenoferrite, and we've got our power source as well. Let's go ahead and get our miners put down. So we've got 4 miners for this one as well, and what we're going to do is just pretty much plonk them down like this. I'm going to leave a little gap just so we can cover majority of the area, and then we're going to get our loaders down. So one on default, and we're just going to pop these down here. So we've definitely got power because they're all working, so that's good. So now we've just got to kind of build our stairway all the way up. So basically I just like to try and get as much height as possible, just like this, and then we'll probably start going round and all the way up. So we'll go ahead and get that done, and through the power of editing you won't watch me painstakingly go all the way up to the top, because in a few short seconds we will be all done. Okay, so there we are, that is all complete. All of our xenoferrite is all the way up here now, so now we've just got to bring it along the line there and straight into our crushers, which works out quite nicely because kind of pick the right spot. It goes pretty much in line to where we want it to be. So let's go ahead and put our inputs just over here. So we'll put them there, and then what we can do is feed these 4 going in this direction, and then what we can do is get our conveyor belt directly along this line, and we can basically bring it over to here, and then we can bring this all the way along here. So we want this to slope down here, and then we just want to connect all this up. So we want that to slope up, not down. Completely got that the wrong way, and then we can connect them to there, and then we just want this to go like this without making it look too ugly. So there we go, that should fill our xenoferrite up. So we're just going to clear all this up now, just get rid of that, and then we'll get rid of this here, and then what we can do is we can join them back together, and we do just want to put them back to tier 1 belt, and we want that to there. So there we go, so that should be backing that up quite nicely. The ore should flow down here, do what it's supposed to do, so we should be good to go now. Our xenoferrite problem should be solved pretty much, so we should have a nice steady flow of plates now. I think what I will do is just shut these down temporarily just so we can get a bit of a head start on production. It's the only downside to having a manifold system. You definitely want the system to be backed up before you start everything and turn everything on, otherwise you will be in a little bit of a surplus. It takes a little bit of time to catch up basically, but we'll make sure that these have roughly about 10 of them each, and we should be good to go basically. Okay, so now that these are fully saturated, it should be good to turn these on. So we'll get these turned on, and then what we're going to do is start working on our technum, because I want to do the same for that. That's going to take a little bit of rearranging, shall we say, because we've got a whole lot over here. All of these conveyor belts. Now I did really like the look of this. I'm always going to try and keep it as much as possible. Obviously it's not the most efficient way to do it, so I think now we're kind of progressed quite far in the game. I think it's time to rearrange this lot, stop it from making it look pretty, to basically getting rid of all of this and just doing a single lane manifold system just like we have over here. So we have got another technum or vein sort of. We've either got this one up here, which I might save because we might need that later on, or we've got this one all the way down here, which is going to take a little bit of building again, because I'm gonna probably end up doing the same here. I'm gonna have to dig a tunnel, and trust me, this tunnel here for the xenoferrite, that took me a while to dig, but don't worry, I won't bore you with all of that. But first of all, let's go ahead and get some more stuff added to our bus system. So let's just recap what I wanted to do. Now, I've had a lot of helpful comments from all you guys, obviously advising that we don't necessarily need sort of the wire on the bus system, and I have come to realize that, but I kind of like just leaving it here. It looks more busy, kind of makes it look a bit cool if you ask me. So I think we'll leave that there for now. But what I want to do is we want to get our loaders and our second lane loaders as well. Now, I've been hanging fire on these because I wanted the third lane loader before we did this, just to make things look a bit cleaner and a bit nicer. So we're going to need plates parts and electrical components for this one. So let's have a look and see what the best way to do this is. Our steel production is a little bit slow as well, so we might have to think about sorting that one out as well, which I have got a little plan for that. We have got another ignium ore over here, so what I'll probably do is expand this to the same production as what we have planned for our technum as well, and also our xenoferrite. I'll probably have 2 lanes of ignium going in just to bump up that production, or maybe I'll just leave it as the 1, because we have got this xenoferrite over here, which is basically coming all the way down, and that is feeding our steel production just here. So maybe I'll leave it as just 1. I'll just increase the amount of miners, because I'm pretty sure that I've got 4 miners over here and I've only got sort of 2 here, but that one's nearly depleted. So what I might do is sort of future plan, and we'll drag this ignium ore, but I think that's going to be planned for a little bit later. So we needed plates, machine parts over there, and we needed also our electrical components as well. So we've got some space over here, so I think what we should do is go ahead and get our assemblers down and ready, fill this gap a little bit. Okay, so let's get our assemblers down. So we have unlocked assembler tier 2 as well, which I'm pretty happy about. Let's have a look. So we've got our inputs going out the front, our outputs coming out of the back, which is pretty good. So we want to leave a 2 space over here for our outputs. So we'll go ahead and we'll just place 2 down for now, I think. And I want the 3rd lane loaders, so we'll go auto sort and 3rd lane loaders. We've only got 10. We'll probably need a few more of those. Maybe we'll go for another 10. I think that might be the best idea. So we're going to have an input here, and we're going to have a 2nd lane input on this one, and then we're going to have a 3rd lane input on this one. I'm not sure why you've gone to outputs. That's because it's set to automatic. Okay, so this is where it's going to get a little bit confusing. I think what I might do is just do this as electronic parts. We are kind of a little bit jumbled up over here, but that's not too much of a worry. We can figure this out. So what I'm probably going to do is come along here. We are going to go along this way, probably going to go like this. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do it. So we're going to go like that and connect that, and then what we can do is we can just go like that. We can get our merger in here. I kind of want it on the other side ideally. Let's see if we can do that, and then we're going to drop it down from here, and then we'll get a conveyor belt back out, and we will go this way. We can go like this, and we can go like that. So that's our electrical components going in, so that's perfect. And this is going to get extremely busy. We might start having to go over the top, which is kind of something I didn't want to do. I wanted to try and keep everything underneath, but looks like we are kind of running out a bit of room. So we need plates and machine parts as well. So we have got a little bit of a gap sort of back here. Everything's going to get very complicated now, so bear with me while I kind of solve this problem. So I solved the problem. So basically I just moved this balancer here for the advanced machinery parts, moved it back 1, so that now goes along here, and then I've quite nicely done the machine parts and the plates quite close together, and then we've got the electrical components as well, which I possibly might move back 1. I've got an extra space there, so I could probably utilize that, but I'll do that at a later date if I need to. So let's go ahead and activate these. So these are actually producing stuff now, so we're going to go for the loaders here. So we're going to configure those to the loaders, and all we need to do is output these way back into storage, but they should be producing pretty much about now, hopefully, and they are, so that's good. Now producing loaders, so we're going to go ahead and get that hooked up to our storage system. So we're going to just transfer these to output. We're going to bring these out to here, so we're just going to bring this around to here like this. We're going to pop that there. Let's stick our merger in here. Do we need our loaders on our bus system is the very big question. The loaders we don't actually need in our bus system, which is kind of cool because that means we don't have to drag it over there. We can just go straight down into storage, which is what I like. I don't think we need them for anything at the moment. They take assemblers. Yeah, I don't think we do at the moment, so that's pretty good. We can add these straight into storage. So we'll leave that one there just in case we do need to add it, but I don't think we do, so we'll just go ahead and and create a couple of spaces here, and we'll go for our slow down to do another one over here, and we will just drag that down to there, and then we can add this into our storage system, which is basically over here. So whereabouts have we got? Yeah, we're running a little bit low on Technum, but we're all right for now. So what one have we got our loaders into? I believe it is this one here, so might have to start going from this side, which is something I didn't really want to do. I wanted to keep it all on this side, but obviously, as you can see, we have our pipes and building blocks. But to be honest, once we've kind of got rid of all of this and made this into a single lane, I can kind of move these over so we can expand our storage as and when we need to. So I think we might divert slightly and get the Technum sorted, because then, as I said, we can free up loads of space over here. We can shove all of these, or these two here, and then all the rest of them, we can shove them right over here, and then we can bring them across. So if we need to, we can just expand our storage. I don't think we will need to too much, but at least that gives us options to do so. So here we have it, our new Technum ore mine. It's got our 4 miners down. It's all going out in this direction, and as you can see up the top here, it's yeah, underneath this sort of mountain. So, and then we can just follow along the conveyor belt just like this, and you will see where it kind of end up. So it's kind of a long process. We do need to expand the conveyor belt a little bit more. I only got to as far as over here. As you can see here, this is our xenoferrite ore vein here, and I decided to go across the top because I didn't really want to end up digging a tunnel all the way from there. That would have took a very long time. So I decided to change up a little bit, and we're just going to go straight from here now. So we're just going to grab our conveyor belt, and we're just going to keep going along, follow our little power bridge, and it should lead us right back to where the Technum is. We are going to be using quite a lot of conveyor belts for this one, but it's definitely needed until we get a better mode of transport for our resources. So we're just going to keep going all the way along, and here we are. We've brought it back to our Technum ore little vein over here. So as I said, I'm going to get rid of all of this, and I will be expanding these smelters, and I'm also going to implement the crushers as well, just to make sure everything is definitely well and truly at its best efficiency. So we've got 12 smelters, so we're going to need 4 more smelters, and then we're going to need all our crushers as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get all that done, delete all of this. I'll probably leave them miners, I'll probably move them and just chuck them down here into the same line. I'll probably come all the way around the back and just stick it into a balancer. We might as well just use that ore as we've got it. So in about a 3, 2, 1, you should see what it looks like. Okay, so it's taken me a little while, but I'm pretty happy with how it all looks now. So we did get a little bit diverted, and we decided to source out the Technum. So I've got the Technum coming from our other vein just all the way down here. Now it did take me a little while, but I've managed to just put the conveyor belt all the way over to the top, and we've added in the crushers and our smelters now. So we're at a very good production here. Now I have kind of left these miners just down here. I've kind of moved them, and I've moved the storage over to here as well. So I've just laid these out ready for our loaders and our conveyor belt slopes. Also want to get tier 2 conveyor belts in. Now the reason being is because I added another crusher and another 2 smelters to our steel production. But as you can see, we are a little bit slow on our xenoferrite intake. Now I did kind of head over to this other xenoferrite intake that we have all the way back over here, which is past our concrete production, which is just over here like this. So we've got plenty of mineral coming in here. I'll probably need to upgrade these to tier 2 belts, because obviously the tier 1 is enough for that, but obviously we've got 2 inputs here. We've got them and them, so probably tier 1 is fine for that. So that's all sorted. But coming over here to our xenoferrite just over here, as you can see, we have 8 miners altogether, and obviously 4 miners will do a tier 1 belt. So we have put tier 2 all the way here just to speed up our production. And then what I've done here is I've gone from a tier 2 balancer and we've split it evenly. But because of our cement production just over here is pretty slow, which is good, that's plenty for what we need. Obviously the production rate is good. What I might do is transfer this into a tier 2 belt, because obviously we have a surplus here, so it is kind of struggling all the way through. So I probably will need to craft these by hand before I put them in automated production, or I might just end up putting it into an assembler and just get them automated, because we have them on the bus system and we can stock up on these and we can go ahead and get this done. Still, production is a little bit slow at the moment, but it will do for now. So I think we should carry on getting our loaders and our conveyor belt slopes into production, and then we can go ahead and we can get the tier 2 conveyor belts and everything done as well. So I have already got tier 1 conveyor belts on our bus system, so I'll probably end up putting the conveyor belt slopes into this production as well. So we have it over here, and then we've got our science packs. So I think what we'll do is we'll carry on with our tier 2 loaders and potentially our 3rd lane loaders as well. Yeah, I'll probably put them, and also possibly the filter loaders as well, because probably going to need them later on. So I'll finish off the loaders on this side, and then I'll probably continue the conveyor belts over this side with our science packs, which is a little bit annoying because I would have liked to just keep our science packs as they are, sort of continue them in a row, but I kind of planned this kind of wrong. But it's not too much of an issue. I don't really want to go ahead and move everything around, because that's not going to be an easy task just because of where everything is. So without further delay, let's get our 2nd lane and 3rd lane loaders all prepped up here. Now we have our lane 1 production in full swing. Okay, so here we are. We are pretty much in full production. So we've got our single lane loaders just here in production, our 2nd lane loaders, our 3rd lane loaders. Got to set this one up, so that's that one, and then we've got our filter loaders as well already in production. Production is a little bit on the slow side. As you can see, we are kind of waiting for plates, so at some point we will have to up our production of plates. So that one's going pretty well, but this one here is kind of struggling a little bit, so I might have to maybe potentially move one of these. So what I might end up doing is moving this machine part 1 over to this side, taking another filter off this one to then head on to this line, because production is a little bit slow. We seem to be slugging up this way. So yeah, I think that might be a good idea. Get rid of that and that there, and we can bring that one across, and we will get rid of this one just here, and we will expand that over this way. So what we're going to do is we're just going to switch over the machine parts to over here, and we're just going to drop this down just like that, and then we'll add this one over to here. So I just got to kind of work out where I'm going. So that one goes to that one there, if I remember rightly. Yep, that should be fine. And then this one over here, we were going to kind of move from here. So what we're going to do is put this one back into production just there, and then we have our machine parts. Just need to find where we put our plates, which were just here. So we need to bring this one over here ever so slightly and bring that up to there, and then we should be able to fit this in just here as a slope down, and then we can put our merger from here, and we can just take on this line just to kind of spread out the demand for our plates and everything. So that should be good now. We should be freeing up both of these. They should be in pretty high production, so that looks good to me. So we've got 3 coming off this lane here, and we have just 2 coming off this lane. But this one has kind of stopped. We have put the conveyor belts in the wrong orientation, but it's pretty easy fix, so we can do that. Let's just delete these temporarily just so I can get the right angle down to here, and then we can fix them. They're sorted. So that's also fixed as well now, so we should have pretty decent production. So now we just want to get to our conveyor belts. So I want sloped conveyor belts, and then also, yeah, we want sloped conveyor belts, and then also our tier 2 conveyor belts, and possibly our balancers as well. I'm not too bothered about the balancers. We can craft them pretty easily anyway. So yeah, I think we should just take our conveyor slopes and machinery parts and make them. We do need to increase our machinery parts though, because they are getting a little bit slow. As you can see here, we've got quite a high demand. So what I might have to do is add another machinery plant over here, because with the slow intake of the xenoferrite plates, our production is relatively slow. So what's the best way around this? I think we're just going to have to increase our plate production. It does look like we are going to need to increase our plate production, which is definitely going to make things a little bit interesting. We're going to have to definitely up the ante over here. Our xenoferrite is doing pretty well, so we just need to work out where the holdback is. Plate production seems to be pretty quick, but also relatively slow at the same time. So our input's pretty fine, it's our output. So we'll need to see if we can somewhere down the line increase our smelter production. So So we could actually go ahead. I think what we should do is go ahead and increase our mining efficiency. That probably unlock a few things in regards to definitely bettering our production, so we'll get that all sorted. But for now, I think that's going to be pretty much about it. I was going to increase our xenoferrite intake over here. That will probably speed up the process of our steel making. That's definitely on the list. This side seems pretty good though, so I'm not sure why. I think we've just got a very high demand on our plates. Something I'll have to kind of look into and see what we can do from there, because it's definitely taking a toll on here. Unless we take, what we could do actually is double our intake on these for xenoferrite plates. We can probably fit a second lane loader in here, and what we can probably do, yeah, we're going to do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this away here. We're going to stick a merger just in here, and then we're going to slope down from here, and then what we're going to do is drag this across down here, and we're going to incorporate a second lane loader onto these four just here. And what this is going to do is pretty much double our production. So we're going to stick these just here, and there we go. So that should in theory increase our production of machinery parts, which is something we're definitely lacking at the moment. Looks like we're in full swing. These plates here are at a pretty much standstill. We've got plates going into there, and then we've got one going down to here as well. So we've just got basically a lane of plates which are in high demand, so we'll have to start using this one a little bit more. That should kind of relieve the pressure a little bit on just that one. So yeah, I think that was a pretty good move. Our intake should definitely be on the rise now, especially now we've got all of them, and yeah, our production's definitely gone up. That was definitely a good move to do. Looks like we're doing pretty well on our parts at the moment now, so we should be all good to go to basically get our conveyor belt slopes, which will take conveyors and machinery parts, and then we can go ahead and get our conveyor belt 2 in production as well. We've got a massive surplus on conveyors, so I'm not too worried about the demand for them. So I'm going to get those all built, set up and into storage, and then we can kind of come up with a plan of what we're doing next. Okay, so that's the conveyor belt slopes in production, and they're going onto our bus system ready for when we have tier 2. But adding that one onto our system has definitely caused me an issue with our machinery parts. So somehow I'm going to have to figure out what the issue is. Looks like we've got a surplus in this one. It doesn't seem to be exiting as quickly, so maybe we have to just manually craft some tier 2 for now. I'm going to have to, I think, upgrade to some tier 2 belts. I've got some number crunching to do and figure everything out, and I think that's probably a good time to leave that episode there. As I said, I've got plenty to figure out, so next episode should be a very exciting one. You will get to see how I overcome this problem, and we're going to be on to finalizing our research of the freight elevator, which I'm very excited for. We're near enough researched the mining efficiency as well, and that should give us some more unlocks. Hopefully there is something that we can basically unlock some more efficient sort of smelting processing, but we shall see what we come up with in the next time. So it's been Kryptonite here. Hopefully you are enjoying the series. If you are, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you subscribe as well for more Foundry content. So thank you all for watching everyone, and I will see you in the next episode.